This is the story of Mike Adenuga, the silent billionaire who turned oil and telecoms into a fortune so massive he's often called the bull. But how did a young man from Ibadan rise against all odds, build coal oil, launch Glo, and cement his place in Africa's history? This is the man behind Glo, the billionaire who changed how Nigerians communicate, and the oil tycoon who challenged foreign dominance. He's worth billions today, yet he built it all from scratch. And the craziest part, he did it quietly. Mike Adenuga was born on April 29, 1953 in Ibadan, Oyo State. His father, Sir Oloye Michael Abolade Adenuga, was a respected teacher. His mother, Omoba Juliana Oyindamola Adenuga, was a successful businesswoman. Together, they taught him two things that would define his life: discipline and hustle. From a young age, Mike knew nothing would be handed to him. After his early education, he moved to the United States for higher studies. He attended Northwestern Oklahoma State University and later earned an MBA in Business Administration from Pace University, New York. But studying abroad wasn't glamorous. Adenuga drove taxis and worked as a security guard just to pay his tuition and living costs. Those experiences taught him grit, survival, and the dignity of hard work. By the late 1970s, Adenuga returned to Nigeria, armed with ambition and international exposure. At just 26, he landed a breakthrough, a contract to supply construction materials. That deal turned him into a millionaire almost overnight. But Adenuga didn't stop at quick wins. He wasn't chasing small success. He wanted industries. He wanted to control resources that could outlive him. That hunger would drive him into oil exploration and later into telecoms, two of the toughest, most regulated, and most competitive industries in Nigeria. After the early trading wins, Mike Adenuga didn't rest on a single success. He pushed into one of Nigeria's toughest industries, oil. At a time when foreign companies dominated exploration and production, Adenuga quietly maneuvered to gain a foothold. He used the same combination that made him successful in trading: nerves of steel, careful networking, and a readiness to take risky, well-calculated bets. He founded Coal Oil, a company that would grow into a major indigenous oil firm, and gradually built credibility with partners, regulators, and the market. Rather than shouting about ambitions, Adenuga focused on getting deals done, securing supply contracts, investigating in distribution, and making sure his company could move product efficiency in a sector known for delays and red tape. This wasn't overnight. Oil required relationships with international players, deep pockets, and the ability to survive storms, political, economic, and regulatory. Adenuga navigated all of these. He won licenses, negotiated partnerships, and invested early profits back into the business. Where others feared the complexity of oil, he saw an opportunity to own something that would generate steady, long-term value. For somebody like Adenuga, moving from trading to oil meant stepping into a whole new power game. If you are a freelancer or a small business owner, the lesson is simple: learn the rules of the game you want to win, then play them smarter than the rest. Coal Oil's success allowed Adenuga to diversify further. Profits from oil and distribution created runway for other investments. Crucially, oil gave him ownership stakes that pay dividends year after year, not just salaries or short-term gains. That ownership mentality is a recurring theme in Adenuga's approach: buy or build assets that compound value over decades. He also used oil capital strategically. Instead of cashing out, a portion of those proceeds funded new ventures and infrastructure that would later become central to his telecom ambitions. In other words, oil didn't make him complacent. It gave him fuel to experiment on a larger scale. Using the capital, credibility, and networks he had built through Coal Oil, he launched Globacom, or simply Glo, like we all refer to it. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Nigeria's economy was opening up, and one industry was about to explode: telecommunications. From the beginning, Adenuga positioned Glo as a challenger brand. While competitors charged high tariffs and offered little flexibility, Glo introduced innovations that directly spoke to everyday Nigerians. Per second billing, cheaper data bundles, and aggressive expansion into underserved areas quickly made Glo a household name. Adenuga didn't just build a telecom company, he democratized access to mobile services. Suddenly, students, small business owners, and traders could afford to call, text, and later browse the internet without draining their pockets. Glo grew fast, competing directly with multinationals like MTN and Airtel. Yet Adenuga played to his strengths: a deep understanding of Nigerian consumers and a willingness to reinvest profits into infrastructure. He laid down thousands of kilometers of fiber optic cable, ensuring Glo wasn't just a flashy brand, but a serious network with staying power. Beyond telecommunication, Adenuga's empire extended to banking, real estate, and continued dominance in oil, but Glo remained the most visible contribution to modern Nigeria. It was a bold move that solidified his reputation not only as a businessman, but as a nation builder. What I find fascinating is how Adenuga used silence as a strategy. He avoided excessive interviews or public drama. Instead, his company spoke for him. Today, Mike Adenuga's net worth runs into billions, but his influence can't be measured in money alone. From coal oil to Glo, he has shaped how Nigerians fuel their car, connect with loved ones, and do business. His story isn't one of luck, it's a masterclass in reinvestment, patience, and choosing industries that transform societies. So what lesson can you learn from Mike Adenuga? Start where you are. Reinvent relentlessly and think ownership, not just income. Whether you're freelancing, you're a content creator, you're running a startup, or building a small brand, the Adenuga mindset applies. Play the long game, build assets, and let your work do the talking. That's how you create wealth and legacy.